Today I want to talk about rewards and intrinsic motivation. But before I go there, let me just say that I completely understand how difficult and challenging this journey of parenthood is. I've just completely blown my top with my son and know that the guilt that comes afterwards with not being the best parent is even more crippling than the actual blowing of the top. I say this so that you get you're not alone. This is hard work, what you're doing, and being in a blended family makes it even more difficult because there's so many different relationships and so many different expectations. So what I'm trying to do in my family and help you in yours is to get some clarity around how to manage those relationships. And I have lots of tools and lots of skills. It's just that when you get triggered, you get triggered. So I'm learning to be gentle with myself. I am encouraging you to be gentle with yourself. One of the biggest things that you can do is to take some time out. Make sure you factor that into your week, that you have some time for yourself where you're doing something that you really love or you're doing absolutely nothing at all, that you're doing something that feeds your soul. This will keep you going when all else turns to shit. On a brighter note, let's look at rewards and intrinsic motivation. After doing my blog last week, people were asking me about if we're not using a reward system, what are we going to use? And how do we create children that are intrinsically motivated? And they are inextricably linked. So let's talk about them together. To take away a reward system, if that's what you're using right now, will make your life very challenging and make the life of your child very challenging because you're taking away a framework that you've been working with for however long it is that you've got used to. So to actually take that out from under you means that you'll kind of be flopping around. So let's get something else in there. Why? Like I said last week, I'm wanting to create children who are independent, who can discipline themselves, who can motivate themselves, who can think for themselves, who can problem solve, and who are creative. If we reward them, they are always looking outside of themselves. They are directed from outside. They're motivated by outside influences. They get their self-worth from looking outside. So with young children, there's often three things that as parents we get caught up in the control of their behaviour. One is sleeping, one is eating, and one is toileting. Now, I would just encourage you to take a step back and look at why it is that you want your child to eat a certain way, sleep a certain way, and toilet a certain way. Are they actually mature enough for that? Are they developed enough for that? And this is not about age. This is not even about developmental stages. This is about looking at your child and where they're at. At first, they're not really ready for it, and then they see that there's this control game. So you're going to have this power struggle that will continue for however long it is until one of you basically gives up or it just happens. You don't see 18-year-olds wearing nappies. Look at the big picture. Take a step back. And really, is it worthwhile all the angst around dinner time, all the angst around, do you need to go to the toilet, all the angst around, get into bed? Do you need that? Do they need that? With older children, taking away a reward system can be even more tricky because you're dealing with a child who's probably gone to school and is really entrenched in a reward system at school as well. For good behaviour, often they get stickers or stamps or lollies. For good effort, they'll get a stamp or a sticker or an A or a B for effort. For intelligence in terms of what the school actually measures, they will get an A or a B. So they're already firmly entrenched in this reward system if they're going to school. So to change it at home is going to make it even more challenging for you. So heads up on that one. One of the very first things that you can do with really young children is to reflect back to them what they're expressing. Saying things like, it looks like you're really enjoying that. Or, looks like you really love eating banana. you looked like you were really happy when Sarah came to play. Or the converse as well, where you're looking really angry. What's up? Or, oh, the toy broke and you feel really sad. And you know, they will correct you if you're wrong. It's not important to be right about what you're actually guessing they're expressing, but to have a guess for them to correct actually means that they're starting to be in touch with what it is that they're feeling and being able to verbalize it as well, which will help them to get a really deep understanding of who they are and a way of starting to communicate that. To take this a step further, we can use what I've been taught as declarative I messages. So from the parent to say a statement that's in four chunks. When you, I feel, the effect that it actually has, the physical effect it has on you, and perhaps the fulfilled need. So it could be when you put away your toys, I feel glad, because it means that I can actually spend time doing something else with you. And the need might be ease. It makes it really easy for me to spend more time with you doing something else. Just to remember the 4 chunks. When you, I feel, the actual effect that it has, like the physical effect, and the fulfilled need. So you're reflecting back to them what they're doing and how it impacts other people. So both of these, the reflective, which could actually be called a reflective message, and the declarative message, there is no evaluation about who they are. It's just an observation, which means they're not looking to you for validation of who they are. You're just reflecting what you're noticing, and you're just expressing how you feel, which is not necessarily an indication of who they are. So this is the difference, and this is where they can turn in instead of out for validation and appreciation and acknowledgement and for self-worth.